So, NFC South, we're moving through this. Atlanta Falcons. I guess this is our 5th consecutive F. I don't know, Chad. Maybe I'm being too harsh, but I thought, I understood if a team was going to take Bijan Robinson in the first round. I'm not saying I would do it, but Atlanta, why? Like, they're not close to competing. They're not close to winning any single important playoff game. By the time that they kind of run him into the ground and actually build a good team around him, he'll be shot. So, like a win now team makes sense to take a running back in the first round. Like, well, I don't know. Let's say before McCaffrey got traded to San Fran, if you want to say, hey, we're a running back away or something like that. I get when you want to do that kind of stuff, but the Falcons, they were last place in an awful division last year, and they're probably going to get last again. Maybe he helps them, and I'm sure maybe he adds a couple wins to their total, but it doesn't fucking matter. It was kind of like when the Giants took Barkley. Like, okay, what did you accomplish? And by the time the Giants have actually gotten somewhat competitive, they've used all of his rookie salary years. So I didn't get it. Matthew Bergeron, keep in mind they traded up for him. He's fine. I thought he had a good Senior Bowl, but to trade up for him, no big recruiting background. He's a Syracuse left tackle. He's probably going to have to play guard. I like the Zach Harrison, Clark Phillips picks, but that's really all that they got. So I hated it.
I'm going to agree with the F, and it's specifically just because of the Bijan Robinson pick.
Yeah.
Like I said this a couple weeks ago. If you're picking in the top 10, you don't take fucking running backs.
No.
Like at all.
Well, unless you're good.
That's what I was going to say. There's 2 conditions. Unless he's like fucking the second coming of Barry Sanders.
Which he's not.
Or he's fucking, or you're like the Eagles where you just happen to have a top 10 pick because of a trade from a previous year.
Yeah.
Like you have so many other draft needs. You have you're the Atlanta Falcons. And to be honest with you, Cordero Patterson playing running back for you, that was your best fucking offensive asset last year.
And Algier was good.
So, like, the last thing you needed to do was take a running back.
Algier had a good year. You had Algier in fantasy last year, right?
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah. So, like, you literally have holes, like, literally everywhere except for running back. And that was that was number 8 overall.
They have a tight end.
Well, I mean, we don't know because that guy, we haven't fucking seen him.
And they didn't throw him the ball.
Like, that fucking, God, yeah, I can't remember his name now. I know he wears number 8. Who's their tight end that they took in the draft last year? I can't.
Pitts.
Okay, yeah.
2 years ago.
Whatever. You took, like, we haven't fucking seen the guy since he walked off the draft stage.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
Desmond Ridder is going to be your quarterback next year. And really the only thing that they've did is maybe they've added a couple wins with Bijan Robinson, but they shouldn't be winning anyway. Like, this is a team that should be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes, and the only thing they did is probably move themselves from pick 6 to pick 10.
No. Well, they're not. They just took a quarterback last year, so I didn't see them taking a quarterback anytime.
Well, I mean, for next year's draft. For next year's draft, that should be a team, hey, we gotta try to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. We gotta try to be in that running. I mean, Bijan Robinson is going to win them a couple games, but they're going to be terrible. They're still going to be bad, but they're probably going to win 6 games instead of 4.
Yeah. Like I said, for me, that Bijan Robinson pick was just
terrible.
Your GM should be fired just because he took a running back in the top 10.
Their coach should be fired too. He's a fucking idiot. Carolina Panthers. No Fs this time. I gave them a solid B+, Chad. We'll see what you think here. I understand that trading up was tough. Giving up that many picks is not ideal. But the fact that they came out of this with Bryce Young, got their quarterback. This is how many years has it been since the Panthers had a fucking quarterback they could rely on? Like, sitting there at 9, I don't know if that was an option for them. And I think their team's actually okay.
Maybe
Like,
Jake Delhomme, but he was kind of wishy-washy. Like, even he wasn't really solid.
I mean, hey, this is a guy that should really come in and be good right away. Like, I don't know if he's going to end up being the best quarterback in the draft, but he's absolutely the most ready to play quarterback. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah.
He should come in and be a capable starter for them, and I think they're actually favorites to win the division. Jonathan Mingo, I thought that was too high. I wouldn't have gone that high for him. But, I mean, he'll come in and surprise start for them. It'll be him, Adam Thielen, and DJ Chark. It's not the worst group in the world. DJ Johnson, I thought that was a reach. I don't think they should have traded up for him, which kind of kills their grade for me. But I thought they did pretty well in the Zavala and Robinson picks. So, solid B+. Not perfect, but solid B+.
I mean, I don't know if you took off. I don't know if you. I know you said you gave up a lot of draft capital. I'm not sure if you were saying that because you took off points because they traded up to one.
Well, it was one thing to trade up for Bryce Young. It's another thing to then be like, oh, we don't have any picks. Let's also trade up for DJ Johnson.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, I agree. B+. I think the fact that they already pretty much have an offensive line in place.
Yeah, that's true.
Free agency, like Adam Thielen's as shorthanded as it gets. Like, he's a great safety blanket. So like they were in the spot where they said, like, we needed the quarterback. Like, that was really what they were missing. And even last year, like, that's what they were missing last year, is they didn't have a reliable quarterback. And that's why they traded away Christian McCaffrey's, because, like, it got to the point where it's like, well, what the fuck do we need a running back for if we can't throw the ball 2 yards down the field? So I think it's a good grade.
All right. Saints. I give them a D. And the only reason I gave him a D is because they got Brian Brzee, who I think is going to be a really awesome player. But in fairness, they only got that pick because they lost Sean Payton. And Dennis Allen isn't a real head coach. So I didn't really know what to do with their grade. They also gave up the pick that turned into Jalen Carter. So that sucks. Isaiah Foskey, he's whatever. I don't think he's that good. He might come in and be a rotational guy for him, but I don't think you're getting a double-digit sack guy. Kendre Miller, that was a reach for me. And I guess they're only picking him because that means Kamara's out. Is that what they're saying here? Because otherwise, I don't know why you needed a running back in the third round when you already didn't have that many picks. And the fact that you already signed Jamal Williams. So I don't know how he factors in unless Kamara's out. And then after that, they didn't really get anything. Jake Hayner's going to be a backup. Congratulations. Whatever. This Saints team bores me to death.
I don't know. I would go C. I think it's just average. I don't think there's anything special there. I don't think there's anything like super negative about it. I think it's just average for me.
Well, I mean, it could have been a lot better had they had their own pick.
I mean,
and not traded it for that fucking bum. What the fuck's that guy's name? Why can't I think Penning? That Penning, Trevor Penning guy is who they gave up that pick for. Tough.
Yeah, I mean, I can't grade them on a trade that they made last year.
Sure you can.
So it's about this offseason. They made a bad mistake. Like there's I mean, yes, they fucked up last year, but I feel like there's also, like, you can equivalate, like, hey, you could have made up for that bad mistake last year and taken, some better guys or made some better moves. But like I said, I think it's average. I think with what they came into the draft with, like, they could have done a lot better. They could have done a lot worse. I don't see, I'm not really swayed one way or the other on this draft.
I think this team's incredibly boring.
Well, again, boring for me, average is boring. So they're right there, right on the needle with their team.
Tampa Bay Bucks, I gave them a D. Maybe I'm being harsh here too, but I just don't think they really got better. Kalijah Cansey, I understand maybe why you'd want him, but he's really undersized, and there's a decent chance that he just doesn't make it. I don't see him being the next Aaron Donald. I think there's a shot that he's a pretty good player, but he's also like a 270-pound defensive tackle. So we'll see. I think there's a chance that it works, but I'm not entirely sold on it, especially at pick 19. Cody Mauk is what saved it from an F. He should come right in and be their new Alex Kappa sort of guy, help along the offensive line. But after that, third round, Yaya Diaby. What are you getting from him? Probably nothing. Servakier Dennis. Probably getting nothing from him. Payne Durham. Is that guy going to make or break your tight end room? Probably not. Trey Palmer. Whatever. He can run, but he can't catch or run routes. So I guess it was fine. I don't know. I would be pretty upset if I was a Bucs fan.
So I'm gonna just default to your D here because, to be honest with you, outside of Cody Mauk, like I don't really know any of their guys that they got in this draft. So
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like, oh, better or worse either way. So I'm gonna be like, yeah, Cody Mauk that's the guy that looks weird on social media, and he's got really long hair now, and he was kind of clean shaven when he got to South Dakota or North Dakota, I mean. But other than that, I don't really know anything about any of these guys.
Yeah. Totally agree. Agreeing with myself, I guess.